Dis-moi pour qui Vodou ils ont divisé, religion mal documentée, et rituel yo aussi varié. Dis-moi pour qui yo dit c'est religion fait noir, nous dit c'est religion la paix, mais n'utiliser pour faire mon paix. Colon yo te reconnaître Vodou c'est fausse nous. Yo fait mauvais combat contre religion nous. Yo impose un sac pas assembler avec nous. Pour yo faire une vindou pour contrôler nous.
Si nous les voyons, faut que nous unis nous. Yo pense c'est force nous.
Dis-moi pour qui yo marché dit nous c'est Satan, m'pas ouais fort pour nous défendre, pour ça fond ta gen tête ensemble.
Dis-moi pour qui Vodou a pas ouvri l'école, chaque serviteur a gué pour col, c'est catholique toujours idole.
Volontaire reconnaître Vodou c'est fausse nous.
Aïe 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 aïe.
Un mauvais combat contre religion. Yo impose un sac, pas assembler avec nous.
Aïe 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 aïe.
Vindou pour contrôler nous.
Si m'les voyez,
faut que nous unis nous.
aïe 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 aïe, comme c'est force nous.
C'est croyance nous.
Pas quitter le tomber, c'est l'essence nous. Ou gen doit pas kembel, mais faut respecter.
Dis-moi pour qui ou comment beau toujours dans le ciel. Y'en a dit l'autre mot mec ou fiel. Unification nous essentielle.
Dis-moi pour qui nous tout pas qu'à kembe même livre. Nous pas kembe yon marche à suivre. La couille tombe en dérive.
Nous prendrons un chemin, sorti d'Aromène, dans toute route n'a présité, prière Guinée.
Esprit au pas de la guerre, non chimère. Nous c'est petite l'Afrique guinéenne. Louga-ou t'es emporté par Européen.
AYIBOBO, awo shonago, awo shonago, c'est Vodou nous. AYIBOBO, awo shonago, awo shonago, c'est Vodou nous. Rentrez dans le fou. Oh, 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 oh. Awo shonago, c'est Vodou nous. Rentrez dans le fou. Oh, 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 awo shonago, c'est Vodou nous. Rentrez dans le fou.
Do Black lives matter if you're bleaching black skin? A question. Colorism in Haiti runs deep, and it shapes the political landscape as well as the Haitian household. Inside families, children are often labeled by their complexion, with lighter skin being attached to beauty, to marriage prospects, to wealth, to fortune, and darker skin leads to self-esteem issues, nicknames, or even practices like skin bleaching. How many Haitians do you know who grew up with the nickname Grimaud, Tigrimel, T-Blanc, Blanc, Negnois? How many? But the truth about these nicknames are, if you're born on the lighter side, Tigrimel, Grimaud, Blanc, Tea Blanc, is meant to raise your self-esteem. It is meant to boost your confidence. It is meant as a compliment. But if you're born on the darker side, your nickname is meant as an insult added to injury, where the injury is being born on the darker side. Even in today's climate where Black Lives Matter, where Black is supposed to be beautiful, Haitian media prefers light-skinned women. A lot of Dominican women are hired to be in Haitian music videos. They are hired as the preferred love interest for men, for Haitian men to gaze upon, for Haitian men to aspire to. AYIBOBO Post made a comment. When you watch the music videos of Tonton Alain Cave and you see the women that they prop up for the public to admire, these are not the women that most Haitian men will end up with. But what did it mean to be elite back then? It meant being light-skinned, but as time progressed, it expanded to include being mixed race because Black genes and white genes were not always going to produce a light-skinned baby. As time progressed, being elite meant having money, having access to white spaces, and having access to white spaces meant having access to white or light or bright marriage partners. A community member shared a photo of their family tree that you see here, where the elders of her family communicated to the dark-skinned men, now that they have degrees, now that they have infiltrated the elite circle, they must marry light and white and bright. When you look at this photo here, I wonder what feeling it evokes for you. And as time progressed, it is often dark-skinned women who suffer the most because as their dark-skinned counterparts infiltrate these elite social circles, they are often presented with women who do not look like them. Now, here is the question reframed. Do Black Lives Matter if we're selling bleaching creams to people with dark skin? Like, share, repost, and follow for more.
Honor and respect, honor and respect, honor and respect. Divine all blessed greetings and salutations. It is another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Powered, produced, promoted, sponsored, and supported by NOIVD, New Orleans International Voodoo Day, New Orleans Annual International Voodoo Day. We are inspired by National Voodoo Day in Benin and led by the Black local practitioners and community members. New Orleans International Voodoo Day is a day of collective remembrance and spiritual reparation that is preceded by a symposium and includes a procession to monuments at the sites of slavery in New Orleans, ritual to account for and seek absolution for the cities and the country's participation in the institution of slavery, and homage to ancestors who suffered through and survived the transatlantic slave trade, honor and appreciation for the achievements of those who came out of this oppression. 2 days, May 23rd and 24th, Saturday and Sunday, May 23rd and 24th, 2 days of education, creative expression, elevation, cultural exchange, and above all, healing through authentic voodoo traditions handed down through generations. We offer a path to healing from the ongoing ramifications of slavery and racism in the United States. Through an international partnership with our official sister cities, Benin, as well as the nation of Haiti, New Orleans International Voodoo Day becomes a major annual event in New Orleans, bringing peace, relief, healing, and connecting New Orleans with Benin and Haiti and other major points of the ATR, the Aboriginal African traditional religious systems, and the transatlantic slave trade and hubs of voodoo, as well as all other nations where African traditional religions are practiced in a healing circuit and drawing visitors from around the world. And again, we continue to invite your participation, your visitation, your support, your sponsorship by visiting us at www.vodouday.org. Again, it is scrolling at the bottom of your screen, www.voodooday.org, VODOUDAY.org. And we certainly are grateful and appreciative for your continued support and participation in this live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, weeknight podcast. An opportunity for you to meet and greet our team, as well as share information and education and re-education about the authentic demonstration of voodoo and traditional African-based religious systems worldwide, globally. AYIBOBO, Salian, Glassman, Mambo, Salian, we certainly do appreciate your participation. Daniel Neal, we certainly do appreciate your continued support and participation. And I will be unmuting our beloved co-host momentarily. The Queen Mother, Sister Toni Martinez, community activist and agitator, if you will, that good trouble. Brother Joshua Nylan Tanner, my first priest and armor bearer, the wild man for Black Hawk Voodoo, local Black masking, Mardi Gras Indian tradition, as well as a faithful and committed member of La Source, Han 4, and NOIVD administrative team member. And our beloved brother Tyson Horn, another one of my godchildren and a faithful, committed member of La Source Han 4 and an administrative team member, as well as our executive producer for the coming reality documentary TV experience, Respect the Voodoo, coming soon to a location and outlet near you. We want to talk about root work in New Orleans. Root work, conjure, if you will. If you walk the streets of New Orleans, you're walking on layers of history, some written in books, some whispered in kitchens, and some carried in the pockets of those who know how to work the roots. Root work, conjure, hoodoo. These are African American folk traditions born out of survival, resistance, and deep spiritual knowledge in the antebellum South, and especially here in New Orleans. Root work was more than magic. It was medicine, protection, and a way to claim power in a world designed to strip it away. The roots of root work stretch back across the Atlantic to Central and West Africa. Enslaved Africans brought with them knowledge of plants, minerals, and spiritual forces. And in the brutal conditions of slavery, this knowledge adapted, blending with indigenous herbal wisdom, and in New Orleans with Catholic saints and French Creole folk practices. In the 1800s, New Orleans was a port city buzzing with trade, gossip, and danger. The enslaved and free Black communities here lived under constant threat of violence, of illness and disease, of being sold away from family. Root workers were healers and protectors, and they made teas to break fevers, charms to ward off cruel overseers, and powders to keep a household safe. Some worked quietly, passing their knowledge through whispers and coded language. Others became known figures, people you'd visit if you needed a court case to go your way, a lover to return, or a hex lifted. And while white authorities often dismissed root work as superstition, they also feared it. Laws were passed to criminalize conjure and poisoning because a root worker's skill could be as dangerous to an oppressor as it was healing to a friend. And so today, root work is still alive in New Orleans. It's in the hands of the herbalists and practitioners, spirit workers, and families who keep their grandmother's recipe for protection baths. It's in the quiet prayers said over a candle, the brick dust sprinkled across my front doorway, the mojo bag tucked away in a secreted location. It's not a relic. It's a living, breathing tradition, and one that carries the voices of those who came before us and the resilience of those who refused to be broken. And so, as I begin to unmute my beloved co hosts and invite them to come on in, uh, I keep my roots in glass jars. Sassafras, angelica, high john, uh, red brick dust, which I keep in a clay vessel, from the old New Orleans streets and facilities. If you know, you know, that old red Creole brick. And some of these jars have been with me longer uh, than Hurricane Katrina. Uh, my family and my people worked roots when the law said they couldn't even read their own names. And so in the old days, antebellum New Orleans, you had to be careful. Folks would come to you at night, whispering through the shutters. A woman might need a sachet to keep her man from straying, or a man might need a powder to keep the overseer's whip off his back. And you never told anybody who came to see you. And many of these traditions still linger today. People often assume that this is a hobby, I think, just a lovely pastime for us, and particularly for practitioners and those in the ministry, such as Elder Reggie and Mambo Salian and myself. This is literally a 24-hour, 365-day, 360-degree vocation for us. And so we treat it with the utmost respect. We ask those that work with us and around us to treat it with the utmost respect. And now today in 2025, and Brother Joshua can attest, folks are still knocking and knocking and coming by 24 hours a day, even though I'm posted by appointment only everywhere. So don't be fooled. We don't always call it root work. Some say energy work. Some say manifesting, uh, spiritual work, shadow work. But when they leave, they got a little bag tied with red thread in their pocket, and an answer and a resolution to their condition. And so please do come on in, beloved Queen Mother, Sister Toni Val Martinez. Share some of your experiences and recipes and memories. Brother Joshua Allen Tanner, do come on in, share some of your indigenous magic and potions and some of the uh, herbal products that we keep here in the house. And do come on in, Brother Tyson, at your leisure and share your experience. All is a blessing. What say you, Mother? We can't hear you, and I'm not sure why. Uh, Brother Joshua, you want to take it, or Tyson, until we can hear?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear Tyson. I can't hear
Okay.
Toni at all.
Well, good evening, everybody. And yeah, I think that root work is it's one of the, for me personally, um, having to come to, having to like, you know, come on board later on in life, if you would, I didn't grow up um, in New Orleans or anything like that, so where I have the long history, but when you see certain things, you can see in your own family things that they have done over the years and things that they have practiced, but they just don't, they didn't really speak on it in my family. But it's like the root work is something that I'm really, really most interested in, because I find that I always, ever since I've gotten with you and everything, I always pay attention to certain things that I keep with me, certain things that, even like something as simple as the Florida water. Like I always have it with me, um, and I think I don't have a profound statement just right now, but what I want to ask is about um, how often do you replenish some of the things that you might keep in your satchel, if you would, that you keep with you? Like as far as like when you put things in, it's like, do you ever refresh them, or the gree bags and things like that? Do you ever, I'm wondering about that and wanting to hear about that.
Absolutely, and it's also very specific and unique to the bag and what's in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Herbs should always be fresh, in my opinion. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now there are the occasions where you might use dried herbs, powdered herbs for certain, ritual applications. But having a fresh and steady supply of herbs can be very important. And as you well know, we maintain a very fruitful garden here,
Mm-hmm.
at the house, and use a lot of that product in healing, medicine, diet, food preparation, as well as ceremony and ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Things like high John root. I have high John root that I powder, grate, section, for certain applications. And then I have a mother root, rather large size root, which are very hard to come by nowadays, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about the size of a small peach, that I don't take anything from. I only add to it. So I anoint it with various oils and powdered applications, depending on what I'm trying to do and how I'm using it. Certainly, your minerals that are not powdered, particularly crystallized minerals, you want to ensure that they're getting a balance of sunlight as well as moonlight. They absorb these energies into the stone and can store them for some time.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to overdo the sun on your translucent stones. They can bleach them, and certainly you don't want to neglect allowing them to be exposed to moonlight periodically. Now, listen, I got a little bit of dust on my table, and every now and again I get a little bit behind.
Mm-hmm.
I have a large crystal mineral library, so hand polishing them and keeping them active is challenging. But you certainly want to refresh that on the occasion.
Yeah, I was going
And
to ask
so,
you, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I thought about like how often do you take your crystals out, because that you have a lot.
man, I used to do it every single day, and then it became sort of seasonally, and maybe a group of them that I'm using. Now it's very specific to what I might need to use, what might be on my schedule, what client requests I might be working with. So I end up cleansing them and charging them individually and singularly from time to time. Some are exposed to window sills where they can absorb, but then others I have to sort of manually move around.
Hey,
Greetings.
can you hear me now?
I certainly can. Come on in.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with my phone. Hey everybody in the listening audience and on the panels. The only root I actually have in my house is High John the Conqueror. I don't keep stuff like you do, beloved Ty. I have different things in my house, like the cinnamon and the salt and ammonia and different herbs and stuff, but I don't put them on the side specifically for root work. I cook with a lot of mine, like the rosemary and stuff like that, and the cinnamon. But if somebody was to call and ask me, like my oldest daughter always got a friend who got a problem, because where my oldest daughter stay at in Louisiana, it is busting out there. Bill Platt, Rain, Louisiana, Lake Charles. They got a huge root working community going on out there. So she always got somebody calling, want to know what to do, and I tell them what to get because of the distance too. But I generally don't specifically keep anything I say but the High John on hand. So I
Can
just
you,
don't.
Mother Toni, can you talk a little bit about, the, without getting into too deep, but some of the practical uses for your High John the Conqueror?
Well, basically, I rap. Okay, you use it to draw money. I use it to draw money. I'm unemployed. I got it. Money wrapped around it in all my wallets. I have it on my ancestor altar. And basically that's it. I just use it to, draw things to me that I want. And I just talk to the High John and tell it what I need while I'm rapping it and stuff, and where I'm putting it at. And so far, thank goodness, it has worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Because I've been unemployed a whole 11 months, going on 12 months, and have not had one single financial problem.
About to go get some more tomorrow.
Huh?
So about to go get some more tomorrow, because
Yeah, I keep it in all my purses and my wallet and wrap the money around it, and I talk to it and tell it what I need, not no special prayer or anything. I just talk to it like, please help me, you know. And honestly, I could say what they say, knock on wood or whatever. All this while, I have not had a problem. I still have everything I had when I was working. And I don't work nowhere. So I've been blessed and it's been working. So, but basically, that's what I do with it. I don't do a lot of root work per se. I just know in my spirit when it's time to clean, when I have to get something because something is not right in the atmosphere. Like I keep Florida water on hand. Sometime when one of my children come in, I just pick up my little spray bottle of Florida and start spraying them. And they don't say nothing. They don't move. They don't flinch or nothing. Because that's just what I do. I keep it. It's on my dresser. I'm quick to grab it. But basically, that's what I do. Short and simple. But some people who need more help than I can give them, because I'm not nowhere advanced as probably anybody else on this panel. I have to send people to somebody, Divine Prince. I try to send them to you, but most people don't want to pay. And that's the bottom line. So
Yes, indeed.
I'm serious. But right now, we need to do some root work with these ice people. I know salt don't melt ice. Salt make ice stand longer. So, okay, Divine, well, we need to get rid of ice.
Well, that's a good segue into our monthly new moon ritual. And just to share just a little bit more information about this ritual, we organized this new moon ritual specifically to combat ice, to combat the orange clown, to combat wickedness in high places. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places, the rulers of the darkness of this world. And so it's really as Brother Reggie and I have been describing, a ritual warfare gathering. So we've been utilizing various spirits, various roots, various ritual practices to bind the hands of the oppressors, but also to kill and destroy where necessary, and where one refuses to embrace light and embrace truth. Now salt will eventually dissolve and melt ice, but there are other roots like high john, minerals like sulfur that we are using in our applications as it relates to
Yeah,
defeating the devil.
and another thing I want to make sure people know, because they don't seem to know it, and I've been going back and forth with people on this on Facebook. While we were all worried about the Epstein file, our Governor Landry slipped in a bill called SB 15. That means anybody who obstructs ICE in any kind of way, blocking their path, blocking them any kind of way, disrupting them from doing what they're doing, it's a felony, and you will be arrested and you will be sent to jail. So y'all might want to look that up and see how they just slick that in. You can't do like they was doing in DC and Charlotte, standing in and keeping them, pulling them off of people and all of that. No, anything you do to interfere with ICE, and I think even so much as filming them, but I gotta read some more. When what they doing is considered a felony. So we gonna have to do something that they don't know about and can't see to
Mhm.
combat them.
But they got the right one, baby. I've seen a lot of social media creators. Some are certainly doing it and saying it in jest, but others are suggesting that, Louisiana might not be the best move for this kind of activity with all the spiritual practitioners here. And you and I both know every spiritual practitioner in this town ain't righteous.
Oh,
Ain't
I
trying
know.
to do do good, or do the right thing, and they live for an opportunity um, to bring harm to others. And the greatest you know form of dark magic is when people give you cause, give you reason. And certainly the antics that we've been experiencing right now as it relates to this is just off the charts. And so
I will
you
say,
know
this as a, I, I can say that it is refreshing to know that the spiritual community that I know of, in New Orleans, the ones that I know are not sitting back and just idly watching things. I mean, there's work being done, and I'm it just makes me proud to see um, that that work to combat the things that everybody's facing is happening, and it kind of, it's like reassuring in this practice of voodoo, because it's like, people that live it, that have regular jobs, that are going in their day in day out dealing with their own struggles, but they still take time out to make sure that they are doing the work to combat some of these things. So that's refreshing to see.
greetings, Elder Reggie.
Yeah, blessings, everyone. Of course, I had to make the trip home, and I caught the tail end of the conversation, but I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. And I just want to piggyback off what Brother Tyson said. It is true because in the first of the year, we had a mass killing in New Orleans, 10 people, terrorist attack, even though it was from a person that looked like us committed it. But that was a lot of hurt. There was a lot of harm that was done. And there was people who went to their altars and their shrines on behalf of that to stop a further attack and to try to bring some healing back to that. So it's important. There's a lot of people doing work. They're quiet about it, but there's a lot of work going on. And that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, because I'm about to pull out my cast iron skillet. I'm serious.
All right now. Yes.
She bring
Gotta
out that
burn
cast iron.
Oh, this is, I mean, and then the thing about it too, they have orders to just go upon how a person looks. And in New Orleans, to people that's not from the South, we all half the city look Mexican or Puerto Rican, or like we don't belong here, like we from a foreign country. You know, so I'm just praying they don't have a bad incident. People were saying the news media lying to us big time. ICE been here for
Right.
a week in this city. And they still saying they supposed to come today or they might come Monday, 250. Come on. They were stopping people day before yesterday and yesterday coming in and out of Slidell in rush hour. The cars and people filming it, putting it on TikTok live while it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
The media don't realize we got our own media now. We don't need to listen to them. Too many people filming and going live with stuff and catching them in their lives, you know. They was at the Ideal on Broad and off of Canal Street. But according to our media, they might come today. No, they're already here. They're trying to, it look like to me when they do stuff like that they working in conjunction with them, throwing people off guard. And that makes me angry. That makes me
I
really
heard people
angry.
in social media suggesting that Latinos and Hispanics not shop at any Latino or Hispanic business right now,
That's what
like
we
ID
telling them.
Mart. Mhm.
That's what we telling them. But a lot of them is thinking I still not here, and they still was trying to hurry up and run and grab some things to stay inside. But yeah, that's the basic thing. They even got people that's saying if they need to go out to get medicine or anything, people putting up their number for them to be contacted. They'll go get it for them. They'll make the run for them to get what they need. So, I mean, New Orleans is really taking this serious on a lot of levels. So, and then I just got to bring this up because you can't make this up before we get off the air. I sent y'all in the chat the story about the white guy who was planning to take over the Haitian island.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord. That's not a good place to start if you want to take over something.
We're gonna find out.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I had to look and dig and keep reading articles. I thought it was satire at first. Because I was like, nobody could be this stupid. But there was. And then they trying to recruit homeless people to build their army with.
Yeah, it's
I
time.
think they didn't pay attention in history class, in world history class. They really didn't.
Yeah, I think with this new generation and it's, I mean, it's time for you know, especially how depressing things are when you're watching the news and watching things that's going on. It's like, you know, it's time for us to be angry. It's time for us to be called to action. And for the ones, like ourselves that are trying to stay positive and try to do the right thing and live righteously and so forth, it's like it's time for us to put those prayers in and continue to do the work that's being done, because it's easy to be distracted and depressed by all that we see is going on. So it's like, Elder Reggie, Brother Ty, what do y'all, having been practicing for so long, what keeps you going and keeps you positive in these times where things are just going crazy like this? And it's like, what keeps you motivated to keep doing what you're doing? Because I can firsthand say that I've been with you, I've been with y'all, and I've seen that this is daily for you. This practice and this lifestyle is daily. What keeps y'all going to stay positive?
For me, you just said it. It's daily. It's not something that we do as a second thought. It's not something that we do just on Saturday or Sunday or on Sabbath. It's a living, breathing, walking demonstration and vocation. And my hat is off to Elder Reggie. Elder Reggie travels quite a distance between New Orleans and Mississippi to support, our endeavors. So it is the voodoo. Respect the voodoo, no matter what you do.
Ashe.
Yeah, and I like to chime in. For me, is this: we have a lot of people who walk away from what we call the standard church, if it's Catholicism, Baptist, Pentecostal, or whatever, and this leave them in a space. Okay, they left the church, and they are still soul seeking and trying to find themselves. And I believe the ATRs can be a safe space. But when people come into the space, they don't want the same rhetoric that they just walked away from. So you have to give them an alternative of way of seeing and approaching things. And that's been, as they say from the Christian Bible, my balm in Gilead. As I learned, I tried to give back through teachings and giving and showing. Because if each person can become their own practitioner, then that's more the merrier, and the more we can be effective. Because sometimes there's certain spiritual baths, there's certain rituals that you need to do for yourself. A priest, a babalawo, nobody else could do that for you. But once you learn how to do it, then you could do it for yourself. But somewhere you got to get the teachings. And so that's where I believe Ty and others and myself try to come in to give teachings and people to adhere to the teachings and employ it, and they will get the results they're looking for. In the Christian Bible, they call it a testimony. But then I guess, so let's go with a testimony, because everyone that we seem to work with have a testimony, and some of these testimonies make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, because it's true. Even tonight in the ritual space we done, my brother spoke of something that he saw. Now, that is powerful stuff. If you at this ritual with us tonight and he sees something out of the ordinary, it'll make the hair on the back of your head stand up. But these are real things. We are real practitioners, and that's what the joy is for me.
Ashe.
Well, once again, we've run out of time, and I want to turn it over to the Divine Prince to thank our listening audience for joining us tonight, and then have Elder Reggie close us out with the announcements and his words of wisdom.
Thank you kindly. We are certainly grateful for our social media listeners and participants, particularly in Instagram. Goddess Rena Marie, we certainly do appreciate you for coming through. Make some melt. We certainly appreciate you. Mushroom Jesus 2.0, thank you for coming through. The Melvin Brown Experience, thank you so much for your continued consistent support. I did see you come through last night at the tail end. Megan K, thank you so much for your support and participation. And my new godchild, Nukeshia, We certainly do appreciate you for listening and participating from Instagram. And KVS or KV Spade, we certainly appreciate you. And your favorite Scorpio, thank you for coming through. And we certainly invite you to join us again and participate with us weeknights, Monday at 9 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time. All is indeed a blessing.
Yes, Shay. Before I read the Lest We Forget, as Sister Toni said, words of wisdom, I would like to share a little something. And that's for the collective in the chat and the other social medias, plus my distinguished panel tonight. Believe me, guys, I always say I love you at the end of these casts because it's true. What we are doing, what we holding fast to, so many in the populace don't want no parts of it. They don't want to look at an alternative way of approaching this thing called life and spirits. And because you guys are doing that, I see you as family. I see you as bond mates. And I see people that I love because it's out of the love that we are doing this. This is not game. It's not showmanship. This is real. We got real spirits attacking real people. We have real entities, otherworld beings attacking real people, and people are not knowing how to combat and deal with this. We are trying to be that bomb in Gilead. With that I say, lest we forget, the spiritual medicine of voodoo brings healing and relief from the shackles of slavery that binds the master and the slave to the same chain of social division. And we must find a way to heal that divide. With that, I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Good night, everyone. We love you, and we'll hope to see you Monday. Ashe. Good
night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Odabo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fire up on them. Drums of Lagos, bass of Kingston. Clash sound for expose the fiction. Listen. Pretendians, changing face like chameleon. Yeah. Pretendians, no roots, no dominion. Fire. Say grandma chucked up princess DNA, don't blend. Your DNA is from Africa, you're not Native American. Pretendians, changing face like chameleon. Pretendians, no roots, no dominion. Fire. Say grandma chucked up princess DNA, don't blend. Your DNA is from Africa, you're not Native American. Yeah. Looking at the mirror, reflection and light. Faking up history, deny. Claiming Hebrew Pharaoh, even Scottish blood. But the truth in your veins run deep like flood. Talking 7-foot aliens landing in the land. Now you're wearing costumes, playing every hand. Culture appropriation from every nation. But the roots of your story miss foundation. Pretendians, changing face like chameleon. Pretendians, no roots, no dominion. Say grandma chucked out princess DNA, don't blend. Your DNA is from Africa, you're not Native American. You bashing by rashes on the daily scene, but when fame comes, suddenly claiming the gene. Double-faced talk, contradiction, loud confusion in the heart, still boast to the crowd. Egyptian crown, Hebrew scroll, Scottish bagpipe, still can't fill the hole. Trying on cultures like clothes from a rock, but the tag on the soul say Africa back. Pretendians, changing face like chameleon. Pretendians, no roots, no dominion. Say grandma chopped up princess DNA, don't blend. Your DNA is from Africa, you're not Native American. Pretend not the bloodline, pretend not the shrine. Claiming every story, but you can't claim mine. Truth stand firm, time after time. see the warriors of Africa standing proud while pretendians whisper. Falsehoods loud, claiming every tribe, every creed, every face, still losing themselves, can't find their place. Choctaw lie, Cherokee disguise, but the test results cut through the lies. Roots don't bend to the will of a fraud. Africa sing on the drums of God. Pretendians, changing face like chameleon. Yeah. Pretendians, no roots, no dominion. Say grandma Choctaw Princess DNA don't blend, don't match. Your DNA is from Africa, you're not Native American. Pretendians, history bend like a broken pen. Pretendians, Africa, call again, again. Whoa, yeah.
Please, allow me to show you something.
They say I'm crazy and that might be true. I got this right in my DNA, yeah, I'm coming for you. It's time we turn the tables, flip these motherfuckers on you. I wanna see you hanging from trees, it's time you pay for your dirt and your showtime. You created the monster, you created the beast. Now all this savagery you just gon' reap. I'm coming home, daddy, to the plantation, and I'm taking the lives of everybody, including the children, on some Nat Turner. Oh, do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. I met my girl Harriet at the gate. If you wanna know how she doing, yeah, she's straight. But she had one question: when we gon' get up? All that talking tough, yeah, we don't walk it tough. She got it locked and loaded, got that piece up on her side. She looked me in my eyes and said, "Meet you ready to ride?" Moving forward, you gotta use both eyes. Watch your front and watch your back. Keep your hands up on your game. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. He sit at the table, but he don't order no bacon. He greet me in those words, assalamu alaikum. Got them glasses on his face and them waves in his head. He go by the name of Detroit West Side. He looks me in my eye and says, "You only get one try. Know that your biggest opposition will come from the inside. I know you wanna love them all, but don't even try, because they'll smile up in your face while plotting your demise." Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down.